No, I try and stay away from that word pressure. There's pressure because you want to deliver something that's great for the fans, but at the same time you have to kind of trust that the higher ups hired you for a reason and that you've got what it takes, and then you just kind of do your best and you trust the script. I just trust Andrew and Jeff and Greg so much. This is their forte. I'm just invited into this world, so I just take the scripts very seriously and hope everything else falls into place. And it has. I don't know if you guys have seen the pilot, but it's, oh my God. And episode 2 is really good. David Nutter came back. It's just so good. How did I get this job? I'm at Comic-Con, you guys.
I was gonna say, like, how is it so far for you? Are you just like...
I think it's like starting to hit me. I still haven't realized that I'm on The Flash. Everyone keeps asking me, like, do you understand, like, what you've just stepped into? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm on The Flash, but I'm at Comic-Con. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm Iris West. What? Oh my God.
No.
Iris West is ultimately the girl for The Flash.
Yeah.
How would you like to see that go in place? How would you like to see that evolve?
I mean, like any faithful TV watcher, I think we like a slow burn, don't we? We like a slow burn. So we can't give away too much too soon, or else where do we have to go? And I think there's other love interests for Iris, and there's other love interests for Barry, and I think that'll make for great TV. But I think you're right. I think at the end of the day, she's just the girl for Barry, isn't she? So hopefully we'll get to that. And when it does happen, it'll be great.
Can she be any more awesome?
Oh my God, she's so pretty.
I pay him hourly.
In the course of your research,
Yeah.
did you stumble across any Wally West stories?
Where are you going with this?
Well, your thoughts on the character.
In my research, I didn't stumble too much on the Wally West, but I did have questions, and so I made some calls to Andrew and Jeff to kind of figure out what that means and what that means for our show. And so all I know is we haven't gotten there yet. I don't know when we'll get there or if we'll get there, but as you know, the ethnicity of Wally is now changed in the comic books, and so hopefully we can incorporate that in our show at some point. But when that will come, I don't know. But it'll be exciting. I've heard some things, so we'll see. We'll see.
Are you converted now? Do you read other comics besides Flash?
I haven't had time, but I really want to. And there's the digital comic books, which I don't know that I'm really into that whole idea. I'm a big book reader, and I like to have the actual, and reading a comic book for me was such an experience that I want to continue. But Jeff was like, come by. He's like, whatever comics you want. Like, how cool is that? Like, I get free comics whenever I want. And I have a 4-year-old nephew who's obsessed with superheroes. He's obsessed with the Hulk. We'll let that slide. But it's nice being able to go into DC and just bring back all sorts of toys for your nephew. I'm the coolest aunt ever. I'm the coolest aunt ever. He thinks I work at a toy store. That's what he thinks I do for a living. Yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge so far in taking on this role?
Adjusting to this life. It's interesting, you know. With any other show, people don't know about the story until it airs on TV, right? So the thing about The Flash, it has a built-in fan base. People already know about Barry Allen and Iris, and they have their opinions about it. So the day I booked the job and they did the press release, and you have hundreds of new followers and thousands of new followers knowing who you are on Twitter, it's like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I have to be careful about what I say on Twitter, and I can't do crazy things anymore.
Did that really change you?
It did. I'm learning that it's making me more reclusive. And I mean, that's okay. It's an adjustment. I've been asking for this for so long, and I've heard no for so many years in LA, as many actors do. And finally, one day, someone's like, yes. And so, yeah. No.
Just going back to what you talked about this one not right, this wrong. Do you feel like those kind of old-fashioned ideas and rules are slowly changing? That perhaps you're going up and being put up for roles that might not have happened 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you said, 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't even be allowed in the room for this character, and I think fans want to see themselves represented on TV, and I think comic book fans want to see themselves represented in comic books. And so for me to even be a part of the shift and the change in that, it's awesome. I mean, I know when I booked the role, Andrew told me, he was like, so don't read the comment section. He's like, stay off the internet for a couple days. But mostly it's been supportive. I mean, it's an interesting thing. I would be silly to say that racial issues are not still prevalent in the world, but they are. But like you said, I think 5 minutes into watching this show, it's so irrelevant, which that's what counts. And more TV should embrace that, and more networks should embrace the fact that it's about the story, and race is really, at the end of the day, it's really irrelevant. And Jessiel Martin, who's playing my dad. Oh my God. And you would think, I would think of anyone, he would be the one who would be allowed to have the biggest ego, and he has the least. He is the coolest guy ever.
So what you're telling us is that Kavanaugh is really a problem on set.
No. Kavanaugh is like the jokester on set. He's always full of jokes. That guy, yeah. It's all good people.